Welcome to Breast Intentions, the podcast where we take off the bra of expectations and dive into honest, empowering conversations. We're your hosts, Nadine and Cynthia, two Canadian girls who swapped snow boots for flip-flops in the Cayman Islands. This is your space to feel seen, supported, and a little less alone. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of champagne and get ready for your weekly handful of truth, wellness, and empowerment.
Welcome back to Breast Intentions, where this episode, I'm now putting Cynthia in the hot seat. So last episode, Cynthia put me in the hot seat and asked me all questions about life down here in the Cayman Islands and midlife and just kind of sorting through everything and at this stage in my life. And so now it's my turn. So, Cynthia.
Hello.
How are you?
Nervous.
Good.
But I'm excited.
As you should be.
Yeah.
So let's just start with where you grew up and what life was like for you living in Canada.
I'm from Canada. I was born in Toronto, but my family quickly moved outside of the city after I was born. I grew up in a small town called Cambridge. I guess it's not a town anymore. It's a city made up of 3 small towns, Galt, Preston, and Hespeler, and I grew up in Preston. I went to high school with 800 kids were at my high school, so not super huge at the time. It's definitely grown since then, especially with, COVID and people migrating out of the city to smaller cities. So I grew up in Cambridge. Felt like small town when I was there. My parents worked very hard. They were...
What'd they do?
My dad worked in a factory. Mm-hmm. So he drove like one of those tow motor machines in a factory. He worked for Procter & Gamble, making toilet paper, paper towel, tissues, stuff like that.
Neat.
Yeah. So he did that and he worked long shifts and worked a lot. And my mom was an operating room nurse, but she got all the operating room tools ready for the doctor and knew what to give him when he needed it and stuff like that. I think she always wanted me to be a nurse. And I was like, no, if I see somebody bleeding, I will probably throw up. So that was not my career path, but she loved it. She did it for many years, but they both worked long shifts, long hours. So they were good role model for me growing up, but they also kind of missed some of my things growing up, I think, because of work. But
okay.
I think it was what it was, right? Like we have to work to pay the bills.
So then you transitioned into speech therapy. Is that what you call it? Speech therapy or a speech therapist?
Yeah.
So you didn't
technically, it's a speech language pathologist.
Okay.
That's, I guess, what I would call it. But speech therapist is the same thing.
Okay.
I went to school. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to go to school for when it was time to apply for college or university. And linguistics sounded kind of cool. And I also wanted to get away. Like Cambridge at the time was a small town and I was wanting more. I was wanting to get out, get away. So I, at the time, took applying super seriously and applied at any school that was far away. That was the criteria. So I got into school in Ottawa, which was 5 hours, like a 5-hour drive away from Cambridge. And I went to the University of Ottawa undergrad in linguistics was my undergrad major. And at the time, I lived in residence. So another girl who was in my program and lived 2 doors down on the floor with me was set on I'm going to be a speech therapist. I can't wait and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that sounds neat. Whatever. I didn't really think too much of it. But then, it got closer to graduating. I ended up staying an extra year, getting my undergrad in psychology as well. And then there was a communicative disorders assistance course that I took, which was a 12-year post-grad. So I took that. I still wasn't fully sure that this was the field I wanted to be in, but everything was kind of falling into place and going that way. And then I worked for a couple of years as a communicative disorders assistant under the supervision of a speech language pathologist.
In Ottawa?
No. I got my undergrad in Ottawa and then the post-grad diploma was in Aurelia. So I spent a year in Aurelia, which is another small town in Ontario. And then after that, I got a job right out of school in Peterborough, which is another small town. And at the time I think there were two of us, two assistants and one speech therapist, and we were all new grads. She was a new grad, we were new grads, and all of us were trying to figure out what we were doing at the same time. And so at that time, it felt like I was doing the speech therapist role. And so every day I was like, what am I doing? Like, I should go back to school. I should be the speech therapist. Like, so it led me that way. Okay. So I did go back to school. I got my graduate degree then at the State University of New York in Buffalo to be a speech language pathologist. Okay. So I did that for a couple of years, and then
how did you end up down here?
Yeah. So I worked for, I don't know, 12, 15 years as a speech language pathologist in Toronto, in and around Toronto. Before coming here, I was at the point in my career where I was working contract jobs. Mm-hmm. So I was always like a part-time employee. So I didn't have my 9 to 5 go one place. I was driving around to different houses to help kids. I was driving to different schools. I was driving everywhere. And since you're also considered sort of a part-time employee, you don't get your health benefits, don't get your vacation time off or anything. So anytime I took off was on me. Any vacation I took off would not get paid. So at the time when this was now, well into my career, and I was tired of driving around, tired of not having a permanent place. Mm-hmm. And I saw a posting come up and I'm constantly looking for a job, right? Like I was looking for this one place that I could have full-time employment and a place that I could call home for work. And so I saw a posting come up for a job in the Cayman Islands. And when this was happening in my life, I knew somebody who lived here previously, mm-hmm. and I knew somebody who was living here at the time. Not a close friend, but a friend of a friend. So I knew that there was somebody I could reach out to if I needed help or if I had questions. So that helped a little bit. But it was for exactly what I was looking for, like a full-time job, permanent vacation, all those things. And it was in the Cayman Islands. Mm-hmm. So it was a 2.5-year contract. And I was like, why not? It's 2.5 years. I can do it. Yeah. How bad can it be? It's a beautiful Caribbean island, I'm sure. People love it there. I'll do it. Like, why not? Mm-hmm. And go from there. And it's been 7.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah. When did we actually meet? 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
I'm not sure now.
I don't even know. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Oh, so you're okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's been a while.
So let's switch gears a little bit and just talk a little bit more about like the breaking free from diet culture. So you had mentioned that in your intro.
Yeah.
And so really, what is that for you?
I wouldn't even say it's so hard because it's a struggle all the time. Like I wouldn't say that I've totally broken free. I've, been in the grips of diet culture my whole life. And I'm 51 now. It was so much nicer saying I'm 50. I'm not in my 50s yet. I'm just 50. Now I'm 51, so I'm in my 50s.
You're in your 50s.
Well in my 50s. But some of these things, have been ingrained in me since I was very young. Like any thoughts are about, a way people should look, what your body should look like, what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. And so it's hard to just break free of that. It's always kind of in the back of your head, but I'm trying. I think I've done a pretty good job of it. I don't subscribe to diet culture, as they say. Yeah. I don't think you have to be a certain size to be beautiful. I don't think you have to, deprive yourself of certain foods just because you want to be skinny. I think, not to say that I just eat everything and anything and do whatever I want. I don't do that either. I think it's more important to pay attention to your body and how you're feeling and health-wise. But a big thing for me was who do I follow on Instagram? Who am I constantly seeing images of, and making sure that my feed is diverse.
Positive.
Yeah. People that make me feel good about myself, people that look like me, people that are promoting being happy the way you are, and the way you are is fine.
Right.
and not trying to attain this impossible beauty standard that many people can't ever get to.
Do you remember an exact time that you made that switch where you're like, I'm not? I do also think that there is a big part of it with your background in psychology, just because of like what I had went through with the eating psychology side of things, is that you start to really understand and see what mainstream media is actually doing and trying to achieve. And you can kind of like read through the bullshit really with it.
I don't know if there was one thing. I think a big part of it was like who I follow on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And the more I see that, you know, the more you hear that message, the messages of what the damage it's doing, or why this is happening, or I guess. Okay. I don't know if it was one thing. I just got tired of it. It's exhausting trying to chase this version of yourself that you may never get.
Right.
And for what? For somebody else to go, wow, your body's amazing.
Right.
Like it just seems so silly. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it was one thing, but I cringe now when I hear people, because I hate that anytime a bunch of women get together, it's always going to come around to, I can't eat that. That's going to make me fat, or, I'm being bad today, I'm going to have a slice. Like I cringe every time I hear it, or when we're having photos taken. Can I sit in the back because I want to hide my body, or make me look skinny? Can your lens make me look skinny? It just, we as women have so much more to offer and to give, and it feels like we're limiting ourselves by reducing ourselves just to how we look on the outside.
For no gain, really, in the end. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So then making sure that you have kind of gotten away from that, and now we're entering perimenopause as well, where it's now kind of taking a toll as well on you, or not really taking a toll, I shouldn't say that, but now it's like something else that's new that you have to navigate. So it could have only been even harder if there was this whole struggle as well internally with the body, and then adding perimenopause on top of it.
And it's still there. Like it's not gone, right? And, going through perimenopause, your body changes, and you do inevitably, sometimes a lot of people end up putting on weight. So you have these thoughts again. And so it's trying to silence that and focus on the health side of it.
Right.
And, what can I do to make myself feel better? Right. Not what can I do to make me skinny?
Right.
So that's where my focus has changed, I would say, more now that I'm in this stage of life.
So then what are you doing right now from a perimenopause side for like health and wellness and self-care?
I do a lot.
Do you?
I do.
Let me hear it.
I do. I feel like I'm up for trying anything. If somebody tells me this is something that's going to help whatever symptom I'm having, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I do cold showers in the morning. I'm going to start with my morning. So I do a cold shower in the morning. Everybody is always like, "Whoa, you do?" But then I put the asterisk beside it and say it's Caribbean cold.
Yeah.
So our pipes, I don't think, get as cold as they do, say, in Canada or North America during the winter. So it's not that cold. It's cold. I mean, it's not, I don't put any hot water on, so it's cold, but it's not. It is Caribbean cold. So, but I do that first thing in the morning. I used to, and I really want to get back to this, but I used to take my dog for a walk every morning by the water before the sun came up, as the sun's coming up, kind of thing. And I think that helps to regulate your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
The water, something has an effect too, and the sun. So I used to do that. I'd like to get back into that. I'm not currently doing that. Protein, trying to get enough protein throughout the day so that I'm not feeling hungry, but also protein's good for you.
Right.
In perimenopause and other times too. Take supplements. I do exercise. Right now I'm enjoying Pilates, so I'm doing that when I can. I'm not so much into the, hardcore workouts. I think my body's just not into that right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. Going for walks and stuff is fine. I do sauna and cold plunge. I enjoy that.
Do you?
I do. And I don't know if it's just I think I'm supposed to like it, so I like it.
Yeah.
Or if I actually do like it, I don't know.
lovely-
I love the sauna. I love it. It feels like
Okay.
a big warm hug to me, and it relaxes me. It helps my muscles recover after a workout. So I do enjoy that. I do that a lot. And then the cold plunge. Sometimes I'll do a sauna, cold plunge, sauna,
Oh, yeah.
cold plunge. But yeah, and I think it's helping with the symptoms of perimenopause. And I used to Google like everybody. And so, I get caught up in you're not supposed to sauna after you lift weights, and you're not supposed to, and if you do, cold plunge is going to raise your cortisol. And I'm just kind of drowning out
Silencing
that noise
out the
right
noise.
now.
Yep.
And just doing, if it makes me feel good,
Yep.
I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yep.
And if it doesn't, then I'll tweak it, or I'll change it, or I'll do something different. That, and then prioritizing sleep. I try to make sure that I get like 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night. I think that's super important. I can't imagine functioning on less. And I think another thing that I do that helps is I go to bed and wake up around the same time every single day.
Yeah.
So that schedule is kind of good. I don't nap during the day. Like I really would only have the chance to do that maybe on a Saturday or Sunday. I don't tend to do that. I will if I'm tired.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm tired, I'll go have a nap, but I don't tend to do that because then it throws off my sleeping pattern.
Right.
But I think that's helped too, is that consistency of I'm going to go to bed around 9 or 10. I'm going to get up around 6.
Yeah. So a huge part of it for you is just consistency.
Yeah.
Which I think is so important for so many people is consistency.
Right.
Whether it comes to, and I, I talk about this with clients as well, is that if there is not consistency in things where it's like consistency in your cycle, consistency in your eating, consistency in your sleep, something is going to go wrong.
Right.
And that is typically where people struggle, is when there's something not going right in your rhythm or in your cycle.
Right.
Yeah. So looking back, is there a specific moment that completely redefined your priorities and how you approach life right now?
Maybe. It's hard to say. My best friend at home, her boyfriend died before I moved here. So I think I moved here in 2017. So I think in 2016, he passed away. And that was obviously a huge shock. And it kind of makes you look at your life a little bit differently. He was a great guy, and he had lived in many different places. And one thing that he used to say was, you got to live in another country. You got to live in another country. You just got to do it. Just trust me. I think he lived in Singapore. I can't remember where else. So, he died in 2016, 2017, this job opportunity came up. And I don't know if I would have even been open to it. Like I might not have even noticed that post prior to him passing away. And, him playing those words. And he was fun, and he was outgoing, and he was adventurous, and the life of the party kind of thing. And so he was missed. And then to have, that's going to affect your life.
Right.
And of course, my best friend, it affected her life significantly. And then to have those words that, he said, you got to live somewhere else. You got to live somewhere else. And I was like, I think I got to do it. So that event maybe brought me here. I don't know that I would be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
If not.
Yeah. And you wouldn't be sitting here on this podcast either.
That's right.
I don't think. Midlife, it can feel very overwhelming. What is something that sparked empowerment during that stage?
I think it's the conversations with other people. We are now doing the Breast Intentions podcast together. Yeah. Before this, I had a podcast with my best friend in Canada called the Nips and Sips podcast. We just finished recording that in December. But we talked about a lot of different things, but we did talk about perimenopause and aging and how that felt. So through those conversations, I learned so much about myself and about how to empowering myself,
right.
Potentially others who were listening, but also going through it. I can remember conversations that I've had with friends And every time I bring something up, and it might be something that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should tell them, like they don't care, or it's kind of private. But they always come back with, oh, I'm also this, or this happened to me. I went through early menopause and I had no idea. So it's this community and this conversation, and that's what I like.
Yeah. Well, and that's also why we started this too,
Exactly.
right? It's just to help empower
Keep it
women.
going. Yeah.
So what's one myth about midlife that you would like to kind of crack wide open?
A myth
that you've noticed.
Yeah. So one thing that has affected me a lot is this brain fog.
Okay.
And I don't think that's the right term for it, like at all. Brain fog to me sounds like something little, like, oops, I forgot my keys. Where'd I put them? Or what did I walk into this room for?
Yeah.
Like that's what the title brain fog kind of sounds like. It sounds like it's like this sort of little, oops, kind of memory lapses.
Okay.
But for me, brain fog I mean, not so much right now, but has been very difficult, very debilitating at times, like took over who I was. And it was hard. It was very difficult. So I think that thing, if I could blow that up and change that and name it, so I don't know what I would name it.
Right.
But I wouldn't call it brain fog.
No.
Because to me, it just sounds so, I feel like it sounds like it's no big deal. It's just a little foggy brain. Right. But it's so much more. To me, like it affected my day-to-day life. I would have like, say, my to-do list that I should be able to get through. Right. And I would look down and it would be 2 hours later and I'd be like, what have I done? Where has my time gone? But I couldn't, and I was doing stuff, but it didn't, like, it felt like treading water. It felt like I wasn't really making any gains, getting any momentum, but I was trying. Mm-hmm. And so, which is then frustrating, right? And then, your day's done and you're like, what happened? Right. What happened here? And so you second guess yourself, you're upset with yourself because then you're like, oh my God, now I have twice as much to do tomorrow. Right. And you know yourself, like I know what I'm capable of and I know what I have these expectations of myself. And if I'm falling short, then I'm frustrated and I'm mad at myself and I'm all the things.
Well, and then there's a big trickle-down effect with it as well. So you lose confidence in yourself and you don't perform as well at work. Yep.
There's so many, there's like statistics out there that X number of women quit their job.
Yes.
At this stage of life because they feel like they can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so sad to see.
I know.
It's so sad. And it is really tough because there are so many, different stages because obviously like when it started for you, it was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe it was brain fog where it's like, oh, I kind of forgot. And then it just starts to kind of snowball.
Right. And it's embarrassing. Like I don't want to tell anybody. You're like, this isn't me. I can do better than this. Right. So you try to hide it and you're Yeah.
So then with starting this podcast, what is it that you're hoping, like what type of gap is it that you're hoping that we can fill with this for you?
Yeah. Coming into perimenopause, I was not prepared. I was even shocked that I was in it. Yeah. Like I feel young. Mm-hmm. I think my thought before, having all these conversations and doing the Nips and Sips podcast and talking with friends, menopause is when you're old. Right. I'm not old. And even, when it started, I don't exactly know when it started. Like looking back, I was having night sweats 10 years ago. At the time, I didn't know that's what it was. Like I was just like, I remember being in a doctor's office for whatever reason. And I was telling him and I'm like, I wake up soaking wet some nights. I have to change what I'm wearing. Yeah. And he was like, what? Like, because apparently this is maybe a red flag for cancer or something. And I was just like, oh yeah. And he's like, all the time? And I was like, no, like maybe once a month. Right. And then he immediately like relaxed and was like, okay. And then went on with the conversation, but didn't say anything else to me.
And that's what I was going to say too, is that missed or dismissed or whatever it is, also by the doctors.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, the conversation was also very different than
Right.
what it is now,
Right.
too. So,
But he didn't say anything to me. He didn't say, like,
Right.
oh, it's probably related to your cycle
Right.
or
No.
it's nothing. And so I was just like, okay, I guess it's nothing. So I just went about my day. I also remember distinctively going through this period in my life when I had like a funny taste in my mouth all the time.
oh,
It was like a metallic-y kind of taste. And I was like, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know where it came from. I was Googling everything. I was talking to like a nutritionist at work at the time. And she was just like, could be a low vitamin this, could be a low vitamin that. Tried that. Nothing changed. I don't know. Eventually it went away. But by eventually, I mean years. Like it went away. But I feel like that might have been a symptom too. Because it was around the same time of the massive night sweat.
right.
event.
So then how long do you think that you went with, let's call it symptoms that probably could have been
Managed or helped?
Yeah.
5 or 7 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even on my radar. Like I wasn't even thinking
Yeah.
this could be something related to that because menopause is when you're old. And I never really thought about perimenopause is the time before menopause. Then there's menopause.
Yeah.
Never really thought about
No,
it. It's just menopause and it's when you're old.
Yeah.
So it was never
Little
even,
did we know.
it was never even on my radar. So I'm hoping to fill that gap. Like hoping like, I don't know, 25, 30-year-olds will be better prepared because we're having these conversations and we're, telling them what to watch out for. And so they're a little bit more prepared than I was.
Right, right. So let me ask you this, because we'll probably get into it in other episodes as well, do you think that the perimenopause word is thrown around too much though?
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I have it now because before that, I didn't have a knowledge or things to look for or what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I am glad that exists for me.
Yeah.
But it could potentially be sort of a buzzword that a lot of people are maybe using
Right.
to, I don't know, be in the conversation where it's, I mean, that kind of happens with everything. Like if something becomes becomes a buzzword because and I'm glad for this too. Like more people are talking about it now and there is more information available. There's more influencers on Instagram. There's more
which
education and awareness, but
which can also, and I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but there's also the other side of it where there's so many people talking about it, and then there's so much misinformation, or it's starting to become very, very overwhelming for people as well. Yeah. So just making sure, kind of like what you were saying, is making sure that you're really following a lot of people who are, valid.
Yeah, it's true.
And
not just in it for the likes.
Yeah. Or to make a quick buck or something like
agreed.
that. So, okay, well, let's switch gears again, and I'm going to do a rapid fire.
Okay.
So what is one thing about midlife that no one warned you about?
All of it.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, all of it.
Fair.
Like, all of it. I didn't know, like you were saying in episode 1, like it feels like a second puberty. Like I didn't know it was going to be so overwhelming, like overwhelming part of my life.
Yeah.
But it is. It takes up so many different parts of your life. I wouldn't have thought that.
Okay. What is the biggest surprise about aging?
Maybe not giving a
Oh yeah.
Like there's a lot. I mean, I do still give a F, but there's a lot I don't give a F about. Where I used to more, and it's easier. Like it's better not to in many cases. So I think that's one of the things.
Okay. So my next question is, what is the favorite thing about this stage of life? Would you say that that's what it is?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Just
not really caring and doing things for me. Okay. Because I'm a people pleaser. Like I'm Gen X. I'll keep my mouth closed and do what you tell me to do.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to break out of that a little bit and do what's best for me and put in boundaries and priorities for me.
Okay. What is a fashion trend from your teen years that you regret?
No. So
You have great fashion, by the way.
Thank you.
So I can't really see
I know.
that
And
would be
like
anything
trends
that
are
you
trends for a
regretted.
reason, right? Like it's what
Yeah.
you go through when you're young and you're supposed to do. Like that's what you do because
Yeah.
you want to be in. So I don't know if it's a fashion trend that I would regret. But when I was in high school, I think I was in grade 9. I cut my hair short.
Oh, yeah?
And did like the bang over this side and shaved this side.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, I still like it. I thought it was cool at the time. I got mistaken for a boy a lot.
No.
And it was a bitch to grow in. It was so
bet.
hard to grow back in. So like the next year, my photo is like a bowl cut because it's all trying to grow it all and make it even. So that maybe, I mean, I didn't regret the hairstyle at the time, but the growing in factor was a little rough.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite childhood TV show?
Oh my God, I used to watch so much TV. But I would say funny because during the pandemic, I remember watching these shows, like some random channel offered these shows and watching them and cringing. Like they were so fat phobic, so like bullies. But anyway, when I was a child, I loved Facts of Life.
Yeah.
Who's the Boss? I loved those shows. But yeah, they're very hard to watch now. I don't know that not every episode, but quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were tough to watch. I mean, I still love the characters. They're still, have a place in my heart, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, interesting.
Okay. One dating deal breaker that didn't matter in your 20s.
One thing that I don't think I could date somebody is if they don't support me.
Yeah.
Like whether it's this podcast or my job, or if I want to, I don't know, do something ridiculous. I want to be with somebody who's going to support me and not say that's ridiculous or you're doing that's like such a girl thing. Like, stuff like that, like the negative backhanded comments here and there. I couldn't date anybody who didn't support me.
Which you did when you were in your 20s?
I think so. I mean, in my 20s, it was like, oh, he's handsome. He's attractive.
Yeah.
He's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they'd be like, yeah, I remember in my 20s, like having hobbies that were, I don't know, like scrapbooking or photography and being like, you do that? That's so stupid. So.
Do you see now how much of it is a them thing and never a you thing?
Right.
Where at that time, you would have never saw that.
No, you take it so like, what's wrong with me? I shouldn't be doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could give your 30-year-old self dating advice, then what would it be?
In my 30s, in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 20s and 30s, I was very focused on finding a partner.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to find a partner. I wanted to find a partner. I wanted to find a partner. I wanted to find a partner. And if you asked me why, I couldn't tell you because that's what everybody did.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Like that's what you do. Yeah. That's what you do. That's what you do. You find a partner, you get married, you have kids. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I didn't really think about it. I was just like, plus also if I have a partner, then that means I'm pretty, I'm worthy, I'm all the things. So I was super focused on that. And I would date people and I would be so concerned that they liked me. I wasn't super concerned about if I liked them. So I would tell my 30-year-old self to chill, chill out.
Right.
It's not important. Date. It's like you had said, it's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Like if you find somebody, you find somebody. If you don't, you don't, but you're fine.
Right.
That's what I would tell myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then what's the best advice that you've ever received?
I was told a long time ago now, don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I think it applies in many different situations. Like if you're not what are you going to do with the answers?
Right.
Do you need the answer to move forward? If not, if it's not going to change anything, or if it is going to change anything, like how is that going to help you? Is it going to help you?
Yeah.
If you don't want to know is it going to make you miserable? Is it going to make you mad? Whatever. So yeah.
And you've always lived by that.
Yeah, I do. I don't use it a ton, but once in a while I'll be like, I don't need to know that. And I'll move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Heels, flats, or barefoot?
Ooh, I love heels. I love a good pair of heels. I haven't worn heels in a long time though. I gravitate towards running shoes, sneakers. It's like what I wear most now, with dresses, with skirts, with pants.
I love it too. I always come over with the
running shoes. I mean, it's so comfortable and just easy to go upstairs, go downstairs, run here, run there. Like I'm in and out of the car quite a bit some days. So heels are kind of not conducive to that. So running shoes.
Okay.
They look good with everything.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You make anything look good. I love it. So then what's one beauty product that you can't live without?
Oh, moisturizer.
Yeah.
Moisturizer, hands down. Daytime moisturizer, nighttime moisturizer. Yeah. Like I think I could probably skip the other parts of my skin routine, but I can't skip that.
What line do you use?
Different ones. I like the vitamin C. So I like Sunday Riley has a nice vitamin C moisturizer. I also like Ulla Hendrickson. I think that's how it's pronounced. They have a nice line too. I like because I use like the vitamin C serums or the moisturizer.
Okay.
For moisturizer, yeah.
Are you into like the Korean beauty stuff? Really?
Yeah.
I have not a clue about it.
I am. There's a place in Toronto called Tight Clinic that carries it. So I started there. Sonia now at Beauty Bar, that Bird in Paradise, also sells it here on Island. A bunch of K-beauty stuff. It's really good.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I use a moisturizer. I've used different stuff. They have really great masks, like overnight masks. Some you can wear overnight, some that you can just wear and take off.
Oh,
I know.
People wear masks overnight.
It melts into your skin, so you potentially can't feel it. It still bothers me. Like I don't get the night's sleep that I usually get if I use them, but your skin looks amazing. Okay. I like the K-beauty. Like they have lots of good stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe one of these
days. One day.
I'll try it. So what's one thing that you can't leave the house without?
Chapstick.
Oh, I saw some sitting somewhere around here.
Yeah, earlier. I can't not. It's, you got to have a car chapstick, a purse chapstick, a coat pocket chapstick, a bedtime chapstick. Like I hate dry lips and that feeling of the burning. Yeah. Chapstick.
So over the course of like the perimenopause stuff, have you noticed a difference as well in like the dryness in your?
I don't think so. No. Okay. No, my legs, I do. I get the dry, itchy legs. Some days I have to stop myself, like sit on my hands so I don't itch because I think I could draw blood.
Oh, really?
Like they're so itchy. Yeah. Okay. But really, I've only really noticed that on my legs.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
It's so weird.
Everyone's different, though.
I know.
Everyone's different.
And it could be like the most random thing, and you're just like, all right.
Yeah, yeah. Who is one dream guest that you want on our podcast?
I have so many. Like international, I would like to have like the people who are having the conversations about menopause, perimenopause. Like Tamsin Fidel. She used to be a newscaster, I believe. She's now not doing that. I think as she was same thing. Like she was shocked when she was in menopause.
Oh, okay.
And so she just was a part of a team that put out a documentary about menopause.
Oh, is it that M?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So her, I would love to have on. The Birds Papaya, who is another huge influencer on social media. She's from small town in Ontario, Guelph, Ontario. But she's, body image, body acceptance, huge influencer in that area. Who else? Naomi Watts would be really cool. She's an actress.
Yeah. Has
her own line called Stripes. And it's like lubricant, moisturizer, lots of stuff for your body as you're going through menopause.
Oh, no way. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's another huge advocate. Joanna Nix is Joanna Griffin is the owner of Nix. which is a clothing company.
It's in Toronto.
From
isn't
Toronto.
it?
Yeah. They do, bras, underwear, leak-proof underwear, which is my go-to 24/7. And she is like a thought leader, she's also starting to have conversations about menopause, but she also shares her own personal life. Like she recently did a post about burnout. Like she's an entrepreneur. She, has these companies.
Yeah.
And so she's very down to earth, I believe. Meredith Shaw. You know who Meredith Shaw is?
No.
She is one of the co-hosts of Breakfast Television, which is a Canadian morning TV show.
Yeah.
That I watch every day. People think it's a bit weird, but I gotta stay grounded.
Right.
Find out what's going on in Toronto. But it's Toronto and I think Canada wide for a portion of it. But she is huge in she's a fashion girly. She's a body positive advocate. She's awesome. So I'd like to have her on. I mean, those are international. There's also lots of local people, but I'm not going to spill the beans on that right now because we'll have them on the show.
Have them on.
But I mean, I could go on. There's lots of people I'd love to sit down and have a chat with.
Good. You have a list.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a long list. Yeah, I do.
Coffee, wine, or tea?
That's tricky. Well, it's tricky. Tea would be last on the list. I don't mind a hot cup of tea, but it's not my go-to. I love my morning coffee. I love it.
So do I.
I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if, the house is quiet. I mean, not that my house wouldn't be quiet. It's just me and my dog.
Right.
But he's not up yet. But it's also, a little darkish maybe out. It's quiet outside and just sit there with a warm cup of coffee and think about what my day's going to be like. But I love wine too.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, maybe tied. They're tied for different reasons.
Okay.
Yeah. I like them both equally, but I'm not going to have a wine in the morning.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, unless it's today.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers. 10 a.m.
Closer to 11 now, I think.
Maybe. Okay. So Nips and Sips, your old podcast. You guys drank as well. On every podcast. And you guys always made cocktails.
We did.
So if you were a cocktail, what would you be?
I think I would be an Aperol Spritz.
Okay.
But with sparkling rosé, like Aphrodite's, instead of Prosecco.
Oh, really?
It's a bit unconventional.
Yeah.
Bold.
Yeah.
A mix of the bitter and the sweet. And also looks good. I like my fashion. I like to look good, and Aperol Spritz always looks good.
It's totally you.
You're always ready for a selfie.
Totally you. Okay, so what would you describe your personality in one emoji?
Oh, I think this one, the one that goes I don't know. Yeah. Well, I think because not the I don't know. It's more the F around and find out. Like, okay. I don't know. Let's see where this leads us.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Let's Google it.
Okay.
That kind of thing. Like, I don't have all the answers, but let's see what we can find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So personal intention that you're setting for habits, goals, mindset, like now in this stage of your life, what is it that you're setting for yourself?
I think more of just doing what makes me feel good, focusing on that.
Yeah.
Like I said before, drowning out the, whatever this article's saying, this girl in the locker room is saying, like just drowning all that out and focusing on what makes me feel good, what's going to help me move forward and for a long time.
So would you say that that is one of the goals that you have for this podcast, is also having other people learn to drown out that noise and learn, and even just kind of going to, like, with me coaching my clients, one of the things that I always say to them is I want to almost like kind of keep you in this little circle and build up a wall all around you, because I want all of that noise to go away, because the more that you don't hear that noise, the more you have to actually sit with yourself and listen to yourself which is a hard thing for people too.
Yeah.
Because they've been listening to so many other things for so long.
No, exactly. Yeah.
They don't even know their own voice anymore. They don't even know what it's like to actually feel your own feelings and express them.
Yep.
As well.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And that's the empowerment side of things, I think, is to like, we can offer information based on what we've learned, what we're Googling, but also what the guest experts we have to say. And then it's, it's empowering others to feel confident and feel like they can listen to themselves and they don't need to, well, this person said this and this person said this, so I guess I should do that. It's having the confidence. And I think that comes with empowerment and education.
Okay. So if you could sum up what this podcast means to you in one sentence. So this is our closing right now in one sentence. What would it be?
In one sentence, it means like having a community where we can openly talk about these things that are normally, or not normally, I guess, have been taboo or, quieted. We can openly talk about these things that we're going through.
Right. And I'm very happy and very honored to be asked to be your co-host with this and be able to do this with you, because I think that we have so many different and similar views on everything, but our main goal is the exact same, is to empower others, allow others to have a place to be seen and to also be heard. Yeah. And, just being able to do this with you and being able to have you be that one person that's like, let's do it. Sure. Let's do it. Who cares? Let's get this person on. This person can share this really great information. And you're just so open to everyone's voice. You're open to everyone's information. But also who you are as well. And I think that that's one of the things that I've admired the most about you, is that you are you and you don't give a flying F what other people think. And I love
Sometimes
it.
I do, but I try not to. Yeah.
And you can see it. And it's the way that you
it's still in a respectful and
very much. Yeah. Not in people's face or anything in like a negative way whatsoever. So I'm looking forward to many more episodes, many more adventures, and many more glasses of champagne.
Me too. Cheers.
Sparkling rosé.
Thanks for joining us on Breast Intentions. We hope you felt seen, supported, and maybe had a few laughs along the way. Don't forget to share, subscribe, rate, and review us. Your support keeps the conversation alive. Follow us on social media for more insights, behind-the-scenes fun, and updates on future episodes. Got a topic you want us to dive into? We'd love to hear from you. Remember, life's too short for bad bras, toxic relationships, and kale you don't actually like. So until next time, stay bold and keep your breast intentions exactly where they belong, front and center. Now go crush midlife, or at least today's to-do list. Cheers!